Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of College Ball with J Dog. I'm back like I never left. Sorry for the late post today. Been a busy Sunday, even though it's supposed to be a day of rest. Had a lot going on. Um, just got a quick little show lined up today. There's not that much news, as y'all are probably surely aware of. One thing we need to go over. Yesterday was the last Saturday without football, y'all. Week 0 is this Saturday. So we're technically 6 days away from kickoff. But if you're talking about the big dog, most of the big dogs playing, we're 13 days away. So technically, we're single digits away from kickoff and almost single digits away from week 1 where the big games are. So it's time to lock in, y'all. If you're not locked in already, it's time to get there. The off season's over. So lock in, y'all. Make sure y'all are doing that YouTube stuff when you're watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. If you only do 2 or 3 of them, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, go up, hit all. It'll help you get my videos. I'd really appreciate it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Get in the comment section so we can go back and forth. I've had a few comments in the last video. I enjoy going back and forth with you. Whether I agree with you or not, I enjoy it. So, now that we got that out of the way, we'll get into the show. This one probably won't be a long one. There's not much news to go over. It'll still be a decent little show. First off, we got our week 0 slate, y'all. It's here. This week, I'll go over the lines. I'll tell y'all what I'm betting on, who I'm picking. It's not the best slate in the world, but hey, it's college football, y'all. You got Iowa State, Kansas State. That's the big matchup of the week 0. I mean, that's a conference game. It's 2 teams that could quite possibly play for the Big 12 title, so that's a pretty decent matchup. Honestly, for week 0, it's a really good matchup. And then you got UNLV starting off the Dan Mullen era against Idaho State. You got Kansas at Fresno State. Kansas, one of those sleeper teams, y'all. Jalen Daniels stays healthy. They got a really good coach in Lance Leipold. They could surprise you and have 8-9 wins this year. I mean, especially in the Big 12. You know how the Big 12 is. I mean, anybody can take the Big 12. There's not a big talent gap from top to bottom in the Big 12. Western Kentucky versus Sam Houston State, and then you got Hawaii and Stanford. Like I said, it's not a loaded slate like week 0, like week 1 is, but hey, it's football, y'all. That 12 o'clock game, Iowa State and Kansas State, that'll probably be a hell of a game. I'm looking forward to that one. I'll probably watch all of them. It's on TV that day just because I'm starved. Starved for that football, y'all. And by the way, I did get my podcast gear stuff. I'm still working on where I'm going to set it up at. Help y'all hear me a little better. Working on tweaking it to where I'll sound more clear. So I will have a little better setup here in the next day or so. Hopefully tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'm going to give y'all my playoff picks. Since the season's here, I'm going to give you my 12 teams to make the playoff. I'm not going to pick a champion yet. I'm just going to give you the 12 teams I think get in, including my group of 5 team. And there's a couple other things we'll go over tomorrow. I'm going to start giving y'all picks, all that. Y'all after Saturday. We got football Saturday, and then you got it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in week 1. So literally 4 days in a row, we'll have football in week 1. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Well, I guess 5 days. So we got a 5-day week 1 slate, y'all. This show's about to be busy. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Y'all make sure you lock in with me. That Kansas State Iowa game, the Iowa State game, that's going to be one I'm going to cover in depth on Probably Thursday. We'll do a Thursday pick show. I'll give y'all the lines. I'll give you my picks. Y'all can argue with me in the comments about whatever. I'm going to show you who I'm betting on. If y'all want to tag along on the bet, that's cool. If you don't blame me if you're not a bettor. Don't let me talk you into betting because, like I said, I'm not the greatest at it. Up next, we got the Son Brame. No, not the Son Brame. We're going to talk about the tight ends in Tennessee's offense, but it's mostly alluding to how big Deshaun Brame could really be this year with the lack of depth at receivers. I mean, I think our receivers, what we got, are good, but we're a couple of injuries away from being in 12 personnel a lot because we're really deep at tight end and talented at tight end. Like, I think Heupel can win either way. If you watched my videos from the past, I've talked about how big of a part of the offense that the tight ends will be anyway. Says with questions about the depth of Tennessee's wide receiver room this year, the tight end position could go a long way into solving potential issues in the Vols pass game. A year ago, Josh Heupel's offense went to a good bit of 12 personnel with a pair of tight ends on the field for the first time. This season could see that expanded upon a larger extent. I went over that as well. When Carson Snead decommitted, I had some guy arguing with me on one of the Facebook groups that it wasn't that big of a deal because we don't really use our tight ends. And I told him he's crazy. I mean, we literally run 12 personnel a lot last year. And even before that, I mean, we put our tight ends at H-back. We block with them. We throw to them. Hell, we run little pitches to them and stuff. I mean, we literally run all kinds of stuff to our tight ends. Last year, especially, we put them in the block and everything. Well, I'm talking about arguing with somebody on Facebook. If y'all want to, join the Facebook group. It's right there, College Ball J-Dog. You just have to go on there, click, and it will add you to it. But tight ends are huge in this offense. They're probably going to be a big part of the offense this year. We're deeper at tight end. I mean, we got 2 stud freshmen. Got Miles Kitselman, might be, besides Mike Matthews and Chris Broswell, even with them, obviously. He's right there with them. I mean, one of the best weapons in this offense. I expect us to use them a lot this year. If you think about back in the day with the Patriots, their offense, they didn't have that strong wide. We got good wide receivers, y'all. I'm just saying, we got 7 scholarship guys. So if there's some injuries, we can definitely rely on our tight ends. Back in the day, the Patriots offense, I mean, Randy Gronk and freaking Aaron Hernandez, I mean, they wore the tight end spot out. You can have an efficient, high-flying offense still using your tight ends, and Heupel loves to use his tight ends, especially at 12 personnel. You put them in there, block, and then you have one bust out from behind the line down the seam for 20, 30 yards. So the tight end's going to be a huge part of the offense this year, which I already knew that. I just wanted to go over this article with y'all because I think Deshaun Brame, I've talked about how talented he is over and over again and how I thought he'd get some playing time, but I didn't know how much. I'm starting to think he's going to get a lot of playing time, y'all, because he's even athletic enough if we need to. Down the red zone stuff, we can put him out wide. He's like 6'4", 6'5", 250. Big target, be a good red zone target if we need him down the red zone. For Tennessee to be able to use multiple tight ends at once, it's going to need depth at the top of the room or a pair of returners in Kitselman and Ethan Davis. Ethan Davis is a dog too, y'all. He's athletic, very athletic tight end. Behind the 2, it's young pieces. Cole Harrison returns after limited action, and a pair of highly touted freshmen in Deshaun Brame and Jack Van Dorselaer join as well. Cole Harrison, he's a lower-rated guy. I mean, Heupel likes him. I like him. Whenever we brought in, what was that guy's name? Anytime Heupel brings in somebody, I'm high on him. I think Brame ends up taking the 3rd tight end spot this year. And next year, he'll probably be 2 or 1. Him and Ethan Davis might split snaps. Son Brame, it just turned out he's too damn talented to keep off the field, y'all. You know how Georgia's had Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington, all them guys. Darnell, the Son Brame is our Brock Bowers, the Son Brame, Oscar Delp, whoever you want to say from Georgia. Our tight ends are going to get used like Georgia's tight ends did. And Kitselman's, Ethan Davis, Deson Brame, I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's probably going to be the best tight end to come through Knoxville since Witten. Now, I mean, that's huge praise, but that's how talented the kid is. While coaches and players have talked glowingly about both of the freshmen, it's been Brame, whose name has come up as a strong performer in both the UT's fall camp scrimmages. After Friday's scrimmage inside Neyland Stadium, head coach Josh Heupel spoke on what Brame has been able to do so far, especially considering being injured in the spring. So, I mean, he's even a little bit behind y'all because he didn't get – if he went through spring ball, he'd be liable to be right up there with Kitselman right now, y'all. You know, it's tough for every player when you're out. Challenging yourself mentally, being engaged. Just like you're taking every live rep, he's got better throughout the course of the spring and doing that, not getting work. The handling yourself like a pro, his growth during the summer. The game has slowed down for him just in the course of training camp. How we've operated, his ability to see signals, get lined up, handle tempo, handle everything that we're doing. He's made some plays, been really good out in space, and should be a big part of what we're going to do this fall. Yeah, he's one of those guys that's going to be a freaking mismatch nightmare. He's going to be too fast for linebackers to cover, and he's going to be too big for safeties to cover. He's a top 50 guy. And he's literally, I think he's like a 4 or 5 guy at his size. I mean, I'm telling you, he's going to be an absolute mismatch nightmare. I think he's kind of got reintroduced towards the back half of spring ball. There were a couple of days where it's like, oh man, I'm behind. And a little bit of that sinks in. I think looking back, man, what a blessing that the summer he's had has been as far as how deep the league's been. The work he's put in, all the stuff to get caught up where he doesn't feel that way in fall camp has been really good for him. Now, I think obviously when his pads come on, that'll be a transition for everybody, but I'm excited about where he is and just what he's been able to bring to the table. Tennessee begins the season in less than 2 weeks on August 30th. The Vols will head to Atlanta to square off with Syracuse at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and they kick off at noon, which we already know all that. So like I said, I was kind of pessimistic about him being – I mean, I wasn't pessimistic about him. I was pessimistic about the playing time he get this year. But it sounds like he's been so good that they ain't going to be able to keep him off the field, y'all. And even if he just comes in on passing downs and is a mismatch on passing downs against the linebackers and safeties, I mean, that's fine. If he ain't got the blocking down yet, we got Kitselman, we got Ethan Davis. Hell, we can bring in an extra offensive lineman and put him at tight end if that's the case. So tight ends, I've said it before, I'll say it again, tight ends will be a huge part of this offense this year. I said it way before these articles were getting wrote about it. I think our receivers will be fine. It's just our tight ends are so damn talented, we have got to use them. And we will. Heupel, if you haven't noticed, Heupel will win any way possible. He adapts every year. Hooker, first 2 years, we was high flying, going fastest team in the country, throwing bombs, doing this. Then Joe Milton came, and we tried that, but Joe would miss every deep ball. We had to slow the tempo down a little bit. And then last year, Nico couldn't get the tempo either. He couldn't process the plays quick enough, so we stuck to the ground game. 12 personnel, put 2 tight ends in there, run. A lot of the 2 tight end stuff we was doing last year was because the offensive line wasn't very good. Pass protection either. And it was because Lance Hurd wasn't healthy. He's healthy now. A lot of people's down on us because of our offensive line, because we lost 4 or 5 starters. But the thing is, we got more talented. Tell you, a lot of people sleeping on us. This team is more talented than last year's team. And I think it'll be better. The defense will be just as good. I say it every video. And the SP Plus, ESPN's computers, it thinks so as well. It thinks we'll have the fourth best defense in the country. I think we can be that good or even better. Thinks the offense is going to be right around where it was last year. I think it could be better. According to how Aguilar adjusts to the speed of the SEC, but if he adjusts like I think he will, I think we'll have a top 15 offense, top 5 defense. That's a playoff team. No matter how you slice it, that's a playoff team. A lot of people is questioning our offensive line. Y'all, our offensive line has more talent on it right now than it's had in probably 10 years. I know we lost Cooper Mays. I love Cooper Mays. Cooper Mays didn't even get drafted, y'all. He's a heart, grit guy, but he wasn't he's talented. But he wasn't talented enough that NFL guys wanted to draft him after starting for 4 straight years at Tennessee. I loved Spraggins. Spraggins didn't get drafted. I mean, right tackle, John Campbell. John Campbell, y'all, his knees were so messed up, it was a miracle he made it through last season. So the guys we lost, I loved them. They gave their all for Tennessee. But this year's group is twice as talented as last year's group. They meshed, come together between the young guys, the highly rated young guys we got, the veteran guys, the portal guys. This offense will really click if this offensive line is as good as I think it'll be. The last thing I want to go over is everybody's longest losing streak ever. I saw this and just thought it was kind of interesting to see where some teams are on this. Like Tennessee, them and USC are tied for the second lowest losing streak ever. The most games Tennessee's ever lost in a row is 6, which is kind of mind-blowing, as bad as we've been the last 10, 15 years and a couple of stretches we've had before back in the day. Ohio State's got the lowest losing streak ever, and that's 5. Us and USC are tied for 6. Some of these teams right here don't surprise me. Some of them does, like Ole Miss. I mean, I know Ole Miss has come up since they hired Kiffin, but before that, besides a few years with Archie and Eli, they've not been that great. And I mean, their longest losing streak is 7. That's not that bad. Penn State's longest 7. Oklahoma's longest 7. Michigan's longest is 7. Notre Dame's 8. Miami's 8. LSU's 8. Georgia's 8. So that's a lot of really teams people will consider blue blood programs that's had pretty big losing streaks for their school. I mean, there's a lot of people at 10. Lord have mercy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 teams with 10 losses as their longest streak, and a lot of good teams. Virginia Tech, I mean, they've been down, but back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, Virginia Tech, Texas is 10, Pitt's 10, Nebraska's 10. That's South Carolina, North Carolina State. That's North Carolina State. Auburn, Arkansas. Northwestern, I don't know if anybody will ever catch Northwestern, y'all. 34 losses in a row. That's literally almost 3 straight seasons without winning a game. One that surprises me on there is Florida State. They lost 20 in a row at one point. Not really many other ones are surprises on here, really. I mean, they're teams that you expect to have some losing streaks. Oregon at 14 is kind of surprising, but I mean, they came up because of Nike money, and I mean, early 2000s, late 90s, they was good with Joey Harrington and them, but I mean, they came up with Nike money. Florida at 13 if you're watching this, you're not a Tennessee fan, you're just a college football fan, whoever your team is, tell me who your team is, and if you knew that their longest losing streak was this. I saw that. I thought it was a pretty interesting thing. I mean, I seen Tennessee down there at 6. And, like, damn, that's pretty good for as bad as we've been, which we always, sometimes you get a little scrub in between there that you can beat up on to keep your losing streak from going too high. Tell me one on here that surprised you if their streak is so high. My one that really surprised me the most to be so high was Florida State at 20. I mean, Florida State's really possibly, I mean, I consider Florida State pretty close to a blue blood program. I mean, Bowden had them good for 30 years. I mean, they're right there on the cusp. If they're not one, they're right there. So that's all we got to talk about today. Y'all get in the comment section. Tell me if any of those losing streaks surprised you. Do you think Tennessee's tight ends will be as good as I do, or that article seems to think? And it's football time, y'all. We made it. Let's celebrate. Let's have a good week. Stay positive. Praise God. If y'all haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, comment, like the video on your way out the door. I didn't want to leave y'all hanging without no content today. I'll be back tomorrow. As always, go Vols.